Okay. So this is it. We're reconvening now. This is the following day. Everything we said so far was last night. Here we are the following afternoon. All right. Yeah, I'm in a different mood. I've had some coffee now. I'm pissed. You understand? All right. You had some things you wanted to say. Oh, you said I insist. Hold on. We're going to get it on recording. I don't want you saying anything off recording. Everything's going to be preserved. That's the most important thing. Okay? So the first thing is this. As these things come to my mind, I have to just get it out and say it like this. And it has to all be gotten out. So the question, and this is an important question, it's going to be one that we're going to return to as a theme, but we're going to establish the basis of a certain principle right now. And the principle is this. You know when you're a mother, right? You happen to have one child. It's just me, okay? Other parents have different children, more children. You know, they have other family members. They have brothers. They have sisters.
Bigger families.
Well, let me ask you something. If you're a mother to a child, a son or a daughter, let's say, you love that child, don't you?
Yes.
If that child, that son or that daughter, whether you're a mother, whether you're a father, if that daughter, let's say, is the sweetest, most loving thing in the world, right? You love her so much.
Yeah.
Okay. If that daughter became a heroin addict and then came home and acted the way that heroin addicts act, which is beyond just the physical acting, it's backed by and I'm choosing heroin withdrawal people specifically because they're the creepiest. Okay? When you induce an opioid transmission withdrawal, you are the least friendly, least human to everybody else. Everybody knows this. If you're in withdrawal from cocaine, that's okay. You're just weak but friendly, but we kind of still love you. It's funny, right?
Different withdrawal. Okay.
If you're in withdrawal from, imagine anything, it'll just be the opposite of that, okay?
Yeah.
Well, opioid is happy friendly to typify. I'm not speaking as if I have extensive personal experience with this, but I have enough of a understanding despite that fact.
Okay.
And when you withdraw from opioids, why do the ones on the train who ask for money, okay, if it's the crack addict, whether they're on it or off it, they're somehow still will have a better listening for them than you will for the one who's the heroin withdrawal. Understand? Yeah. The one who's a heroin, look, you could have a woman who comes on the train, no drug effect at all. You hear nothing but words that garner your natural sympathy. Please, my children, I really have been suffering for 3 days. I haven't eaten, my poor life. You're just going to go like, oh, everyone in the heart.
Playing victim.
It's not playing. They are victims.
They are victims.
It's sad. They really are sad. No one's playing.
Yeah.
One way or another, they are in a bad spot.
Yeah.
They're not faking that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay? Extremely rare that they are. And I've seen some interesting cases where they are. As with Tygani, po polsku, in Polish Tzygan, that's the gypsies. The gypsies are players, that they're funny. But everybody else means it.
Yeah.
Okay? What was I going to say? When it's the nice woman who comes and she's so unfortunate, whether or not it's drugs or not drugs, to some degree you'll feel compassion. You'll say, yeah, like, we're going to give you something. When it's the woman or man who's withdrawing from heroin, for example, and they come on the train, how do they sound? The natural song of their hearts is what? How does it resonate with you when they speak to you?
I don't know, but probably scary.
Everyone sucks.
Oh yeah, I see
You're
that
all
sometimes.
shit. Why don't you give me fucking money now?
Yeah.
Die everyone, you worthless fuckers who won't give me money. That's
like a lot of negativity.
They don't even have to say it in those words.
Yeah.
The actual words they produce could be the same script. Everybody, please, I need money now. Help me. But the vibe makes you
Right.
want to kill them. You're
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't even be
Get
alive.
out.
We hate you.
Yeah.
Go kill yourself.
Yeah. Get out of the
You don't
train.
understand?
Yeah. That's the difference. Okay.
Do you know what the lack of morality is?
What?
It's treating that second person any different than how you would have treated the first person.
Yeah.
Get real. They tricked you, but not they. Their antenna vibrational frequency emanation tricked you. Because their soul is the same. But you let the neuro frequency broadcast interfere with your accurate perception of their soul. You bought the fraud. The fraud is the temporarily chemically induced imbalance. Don't buy the fraud. Just because he makes you feel skeeved out doesn't mean they are skeeve. They can't help but be skeeve. They're a bigger victim than anyone else there. Can't you see it? And that's what I have to say about that, but I'm going to tie in the next thing after that back to this, which will come at the appropriate time. I'm a master builder. Now, back to what we were saying. So here we are today. It's the following day from yesterday. And what were you telling me when you first came in here about how you felt and everything that you were saying straight from your heart?
Yeah, yesterday you told me a lot of information which was kind of shocking to me. And I realized that you went through a lot. Like you dealt with a lot with this girl. These things I had no idea because nobody ever mentioned it to me.
And let me ask you
You know,
something.
and I was really
Yeah.
sad when I went home. I even cried and I couldn't sleep last night because it's so sad because I want you to be treated in a good way. You know, whoever you choose for your partner, also this person should treat you the best way possible and respect you and try to make a good life together, not like bring a lot of troubles and problems. It's not okay.
It's not okay. Well, I appreciate that, Mom. To masz rację. To jest prawda. That's correct.
So I'm really like, today I'm like shattered. Oh my God, my son was going through so much. I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah, and you know
And I
why?
was so like overwhelmed. Honestly, I didn't want to even come today. I was like so upset today.
At the circumstances,
Yeah.
well, just because of what they are.
Yeah, I'm so sad.
And I'll tell you this much. You say it's really sad and shocking because you didn't even know.
I had no idea because I know this girl. She came here. I saw her a few times, and she always sweet and smiling. So I thought she's like the best girl ever.
And she was
And I
to me.
treated her
She
good.
was so good to me. You saw the way we were when we were together. She was like that maybe 97% of the time. When we were good, we were the best. Honestly, you understand that. You saw it. There's no one was faking anything. If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. Remember that
Yeah.
saying? Well, it's in terms of seeing who fits as the right fitting glove in life when you're looking
Yeah.
for people. Honestly, in my life, when we were good, and we were good a lot of the time too, she was one of the best fitting gloves for me that I ever felt, like by intuitive sense. And I think she felt the same way. We had a very good, natural, organic resonance toward each other that when both of us were on balance, the synergy was of almost like a godly high degree. Either of us would readily admit this. It's just true. That's it. That's the case. Nevertheless, if you do wrong, you have to be stopped and rebuked. Do you see that? This is also my God mission. You're commanded by the Bible. You must rebuke. If someone does something wrong, especially someone who's beholden to you in any kind of way, where there's a fiduciary duty, and you're breaking that special consideration in some way, that's a double burden that I must rebuke. You cannot be not allowed to be given corrective feedback. It
Okay.
can never happen. I will go to hell, figuratively, metaphorically, or if you believe it literally. It's not about literal. Okay, you know what hell is? And let's clarify this. Yeah, we're technically Catholics. So the Catholic Church won't like me saying this, But I understand what the real truth is. What is hell? It's when you reincarnate again. Why? Because this is hell. So after death, the sentence to hell is the sentence to show up back here again. You're in hell when you're back here again. And that, funny enough, that ties in with the Buddhist. That ties in with the Buddhist take as well, because they say it's when someone achieves nirvana, that is the full state of understanding how life really operates, that you wash out all the karmic debts and sins from your own electromagnetic programming, so to speak. You're fully you're only like fully consistent with the nature of God. That's when you break your reincarnation cycle, and that will be your last lifetime here, because you've graduated school now. You can leave. You don't have to keep retaking class again. That's going to heaven. That's permanent heaven. You don't have to do this anymore. So everything is beautifully consistent when you compare it. And yeah, a lot of reputable and authoritative sources from the Judaic avenue, the Talmudic and even the original Bible, seem to agree. Okay, and we could speculate all day long, but we've heard the interesting stories, right? I think people who research this as a profession, they say, yeah, guys, we're the experts in the field. It's not one or two stories of people remembering their past lives where we go and verify and it's exactly the same details. It's like 400,000, yet we have all the archives. We literally have been maintaining them for fucking decades. It's, you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's recording, I just took a quick break. So what was I saying? Ty rozumiesz, że... I keep switching languages. Hold on. Sometimes I get confused. I'm having a hard time today. Alright, may the listeners bear with us, because I'm having a hard time with this. Ty rozumiesz? Jak ja piję kawę, to tak się dzieje. Pause it again. I need to collect myself. Suzumi? Dobra, okay. And what were you just saying?
No, we just took a break, so we're going back.
No. So one thing at a time we got to touch on. So many notes, so many pages and pages and pages of notes where it's like each word represents 10,000 other words. It's going to take like 3 days to get it all out. You know? It's crazy. Where did we leave off yesterday? Well, let me set the backdrop like this. This is also something that should be, really said. At or around that time, early to mid last year, this is around springtime, okay? Now, I told you, when me and Sarah got together, one of the things we realized is that, we don't really care about any of these, supposed or material shortcomings, whatever they may be, each about the other. This guy, he has neurological problems, he's got serious issues, and with her, I don't even have anything bad to say superficially.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, but the important thing was that we had the synergy, and that she could see my heart for who I was, and me with her.
That's
and
beautiful.
And that's what I mean. And we nothing else mattered. I could be Stephen Hawking. She was there to,
support you.
Figuratively, take care of me in that way, wipe my ass, so to speak. But I'm joking. But what I mean is it was all done out of love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm saying this knowing, and we knew how bad I already was at that point in time. But what should be clearly, objectively established is that at or around April of last year, exactly 10 months ago, it got much worse.
April?
Just like that.
So what happened?
Got much worse.
Nothing happened?
Okay? One day, I'm walking with Sarah. We're in Union Square. I say, thank God she was there live for exactly when it started happening. Okay? I told you I had infiltration and effusion going into my brain for a long time. This was a micro tear, micro perforation of some kind, but it just, the cumulative effect and the cumulative damage became more and more. After some point, and I'm not even going to get into the necessarily exactly all the details of what may have, fostered that, but it doesn't matter. We're there, we're walking in Union Square, all of a sudden, I feel like my left side of my body and the right side of my body become unlinked.
Okay.
Unlinked. All of a sudden I could move my left side independently of my right side in the fullest sense you can imagine. Beyond what you are able to understand.
Okay.
Okay? Prior to this happening, I'd say prior to about January of last year, I was very well masked. I had all the issues I had, but I was still so good that I could go out in public and be normal seeming, and everyone would be like, you wouldn't have figured it out unless you took a real close look. I was very good at still holding up some semblance of functionality. Okay?
That's good.
Yeah, after my father died and my grandfather died, I had a rough few months, and then after that, further neurological things started happening. Around when Katya came here, she was the first one to see, and Sarah too, but Katya was closer to me then in terms of the amount of time she spent because she lived here with me. And she would see I'm starting to unravel, acceleratedly. Okay? And that's when I started just having a harder
Hard time
time.
talking, right?
Yeah.
Moving.
Yeah. That's right. I had a lot of interesting. Half the time I'd be out in the cold. The cold. So if you have more solutes in a solvent space, when you drive temperature down, everybody knows this from the physics, temperature curves. You will. The more saturation you have, the sooner you will hit supersaturation as you begin to bring temperature down. Okay. So what happens with someone who's heavily toxic filled, with me is an extreme because my liver was disabled for years. When I was outside for extended periods of time, even if I'm wearing a winter jacket and whatever, my flesh would begin to crystallize in ways that would cause nerve damage immediately. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to you. What I'm telling you is that I'd be outside, it'd be cold, and then I'd come back and the place that my sock strap was clinging to my leg, cut the nerve there for 6 months, it's not. Okay? And just other similar manifestations also all across the body. I had ankylosing spondylitis. I had joints randomly snap. I've had, broken limbs in a sense, really. Disconnected, things hanging off. No pain though. So I would just live. I'd roll on. I was superhumanly, I was like the guy who had 85 blows and just kept going. Okay? Then by April, it took another hit, another
For the
loss.
worse, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was with Sarah, and all of a sudden, my left side and my right side became unlinked. And I'm like, whoa, something's wrong. I'm moving my left hand and my right hand genuinely, completely as two separate people, like two separate brains. And I experienced that. I'm like, whoa, what the fucking hell? This is crazy. And then she's like, what's wrong, baby? What's wrong? She came, she's examining me. She was touching, here you see, she's touching one side of this face here. As she would touch one side of the face, I'd say, wait, hold on, touch my other face.
Other side?
No, I said touch my other face.
Okay. Like you have two faces.
Yeah, touch my other face. And then she'd go touch the other face. And then I'd say, no, and then touch the other face. And then touch the other face. She says, well, that's not normal English. What do you mean? But I'm speaking intuitively. My now split brains are thinking there's another face. Go touch the other face.
And what is the difference that she touched you?
It felt like you're touching two different people, but both of them are me.
Okay.
And then back and forth. And then when you cross across the middle line, it was like giving me a seizure.
What?
Because you kept stimulating both. So if you're here, this one's lighting. If you go, this one's lighting.
Yeah.
So if you go to the threshold and then play like this, it's the same that if you take the light bulb switcher, I'll go here. See, here it's off, here it's on. Here it's off, here it's on. But if I go to the middle, You see how I could live on that, and then you hear sparks fly? You hear it from the outlet, sparks are flying because I'm hanging in the middle, as a million flickers go. That's what it'd be like when you rub the center axis of my body.
Oh.
And it'd give me like a seizure almost.
Oh my God.
Okay? Is this normal or is this brain damage?
Not normal.
Oh, but you think it's kind to abuse people with brain damage?
No, it's not kind.
To drive the damn point home a little early. Maybe I spoke too soon. They say don't deliver the coup de grace until the final slice, then you're fucking dead. Fucking idiots. No, why? Why am I having to do this shit for everybody? Dance the fucking dance of let's see how stupid you are till you get it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Here we work more for you, you idiots. You are indebted to me for wasting my time.
So what happens? You touch your face, and you feel like you have two faces, right?
So back to go to the and again, this is coffee. This is a. What do you want? Because when you have a hole in your head and the caffeine's going straight to the brain tissue instead of passing through the liver first and diluting in the entire blood supply before some of that blood is allowed to trickle past the blood-brain barrier, you don't even understand the level of damage I live with. Only compassion should be given to me in the highest degree at all times from all humans I ever meet. Are you people crazy? The ultimate sickness is beholding what I'm telling you and then starting shit with me ever for any reason ever. Huh? Fucking embarrassment.
So
it's humiliating.
You feel.
It's a shame to see something like this on this earth.
I understand.
But that's what scorpions do.
Scorpions?
That's what scorpions and snakes do in this world. All the fables you read and hear about them. You understand the nature of one. That's one's nature. It's micro-autism / micro-psychopathy. When you can't really see what you're doing and the good of it or not, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
All the lessons that are being brought down now are for the good of the recipients who are receiving it. Always. That's my duty. My God tells me to do this. Every day is my damn God-bound obligation. There is no stopping.
Okay, John.
How dare people victimize you and then try to flip it and invert it and play a game? You don't play games with me. You don't play games with anybody. I'm the representative of every common man in this world you are to worship and respect as much as any other man. Everyone is Princess Diana and Abraham Lincoln, or you're the devil. Always fight for a good world. Idiotas.
Oops.
The hell was I saying?
Dad, your brain was disconnected and you asked her to touch one side, another side, and then you got angry. I said because of the coffee or whatever. And so going back to the story, let's continue. So what happened? She like touched you and you felt like two different people, right?
Yeah,
like
split brain.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And then, after that, not long afterwards, I can't exactly remember when by now, but it became very obvious that out of one of my eyes, I could see and understand with another segment of my brain or awareness, but I couldn't any longer say certain things.
Since then.
Yeah.
It's like
so watch.
April, right?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
I'm closing my. Which eye am I closing right now?
All left.
Yeah. So I'm looking with my right, right?
Yeah.
By the way, it's gotten worse since then. So certain things that were still halfway okay then, it just got more messed up since then. Why? Because not a single doctor has helped me. So was your eyes closed again?
Left one is closed.
Okay, so I got my right eye open. So show me some fingers.
How many fingers?
Oh, but it's the same disablement. It's both now. It's my whole brain's affected. I can't.
You cannot verbalize.
That was my attempt to say the thing.
The number.
All right.
Okay.
There's this many. I'm showing you the hand.
Yeah, you
Does
could
it match?
show.
I
Yeah,
I understand.
fingers.
All right.
But you cannot say.
Yeah, so I could switch the eye or keep both eyes open.
Same thing. But could you show how many fingers? Yeah, I understand.
Is that normal?
No, it's like neurological.
Right, when you hear that and see a person like this, and Sarah took videos of me doing that, like good ones. Is that care? When you take a video of someone who's hurt, and you supposedly love them, but you're gonna sabotage and allow evil to come, and then you're gonna play sick games and fucking throw the shit into fire?
No, we shouldn't do this. We should help you, not to.
That's an indignation. How dare you?
Okay, so since then you have this problem, right?
Only love is what brings things forward. It's true love.
Yeah.
She started telling me I love you one day.
Oh,
Do you know when?
Nice.
Well, let me. There's that story that I want to put to the side and then bring back a little bit later because the timing is very important. Okay. And even she didn't realize the timing of it, but it's something that should be said because everything I say makes a beautiful contextual grand scale harmonic rhythm. You see everything. You're like, oh. Everything has to be covered and said. Like I said off the record, I said, no way will spin be allowed in my game, in my life. You work with me, you don't make summary statements to people that are hearsay without the other person being heard and with only special slant. You don't slant a special spin against me. It'll never be allowed. Yeah? You're going to talk to anyone about anything? Then the others are going to get a 10-hour mega exposition. You have nothing to play once all the facts. My best defense in life when I have witnesses. You will be blocked from spinning evil webs. Never deceive, you unholy fucking people.
So you feel like she turned against you. That's why you got very angry.
We'll get to that later because that was earlier this week, and I'm still back in April or the summer of last year.
So what happened in
Everything's. By the way, you came down and you're like, this is a long story, but when are we going to get to the end of it? I said yes. If I just tell you, let me give you the quick, low human version of my laziness, which is to tell you 3 sentences about what happened. First of all, that's open to manipulation. So depending on which 3 sentences I choose, there's 300 ways to skin a cat, and I'll just say anything that makes me look good and the other person look bad. And then she's doing the same thing. So each version of the story has its spin. And then if you fool the other person because they forgot what it means to make sure you never listen to someone unless you've heard both sides, you will successfully indoctrinate them into your own personal cult of, let's fuck that guy's bad. Or when it's a guy, fuck that bitch. No, not fuck that guy. Not fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Just
go bathe in the depth of every little morsel and grain of fact until you're so saturated with it that you crystallize.
So what happened in April? You start to feel worse because you feel like you have 2 different faces, right? You feel more disconnected. You couldn't verbalize.
What this is split brain syndrome.
Okay.
That's when the corpus callosum has a disconnection of it for any reason. Normally, it only happens when there's surgery. I'm probably the first non-surgical case to ever manifest. I'm not sitting in some kind of research lab or hospital or study. But that happened 10 months ago. So how efficient is the medical world around me?
Not efficient.
Yeah, it's a shame. Go kill yourselves.
You went to the doctors, you went to neurologists, you explained everything, right?
It's like I have to teach them things and then they still don't understand.
We're still in the middle of doing some testing.
Are you fucking kidding? No, we're not. We're not in the middle of testing. Okay. We haven't even had a proper test.
Yeah, the MRI you requested.
All right, we're going to go in 50 different directions if you don't hold to the right line. Point is, ever since about April, I had a Pokemon card business. all of a sudden, at the same time that this brain thing happened, I stopped